So, do you remember what happened last time? Because you were doing the last time.
Oh, great. Let's see. Last time, my character woke up from from a hangover after a weird dream.
Uh-huh.
You're welcome for
Then
that
I
dream,
was
by the way.
cured. What?
You're welcome for that dream, by the way. I came up with part of it.
Cool. And then, but I was cured. My character met an old friend who was in Yukiege. And after that, we decided to take up Youngerland's mission to go to a kobold cave, which we did. And we did that very tactfully.
You did.
So there was no like worrying about dying.
We wound up
And
feeling bad at the very end because there was a kid kobold, so we let him and
yeah,
2 others live.
yeah, we were like, we need to leave someone with them.
It's just a kid.
So we did that, and now we have this big treasure, lead line gold chest.
Which,
Locke
on
got some new
that,
spells,
chest,
but
I did some number crunching and math and fun, and I
how many
realized...
of those like oval thingamabobs?
What?
You said there was like an axe in it, and then like a whole bunch of gems.
Yes. Um, I did some crazy maths, and in session I had said it was like so that Riven could effectively pick it up and it wasn't so much of a worry. I had initially said 30. Brian said that he was picturing something closer to 60, which I then took the 60 because it made more sense because it would be heavy, but Riven can carry 60 pounds no problem. And I realized also that a chest of that size, weighing 60 pounds, filled with gems, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It wouldn't have actually worked that way.
Okay, so you did a.
So
what
I was
was the
figuring a lot
number?
of the weight would. I was figuring a lot of the weight would be the chest itself, not just the contents. Like the lead. Lead's heavy, isn't it?
yes,
Yeah.
precisely.
That's what I was.
So,
Like the lead and the shit.
so here's what I decided to do in light of that. You still have 60 pounds of gems because I still like that. But with the added weight of the chest itself, not including the axe because I didn't include the axe in the weight of the gems. Um, with the added weight of the box itself, I did some number crunching and fun math and found that a solid wooden box lined with a thin sheet of lead to protect it against detect magic would be roughly, oddly enough, about 40 pounds.
Ooh.
So,
Okay.
40-pound chest, 60 pounds of gems equals a 100-pound box that Riven is currently now carrying on her back.
No, she's not carrying it on her back. She's like carrying it normal.
Well,
She
yeah.
only took the axe out and is like carrying the axe, and then she's carrying the rest of the box.
Yeah, and as was established
And
previous...
how do you determine rate again? It's you take your strength score and multiply it by what?
I think it's your strength score multiplied by... Let's see,
I think it was 30.
is it 30?
I think so. That's what I remember anyway. Give me a second here.
Strength score multiplied by 15.
So I was doubling it. Okay.
I can carry 270 without a problem.
Okay.
Yeah. You're a strong character, so you're perfectly fine. But there's that. Also, in last session, since you were doing this quest...
90 pounds.
Yes, good for you. Which is amusing because that's probably the easiest... That's probably the closest to my own actual human strength.
Locke is just carrying spells, right? Just the spell scrolls that we
Yes.
found.
He's just carrying the scrolls and some miscellaneous crap in his inventory.
So,
Uh,
what are the gems that were in the box? I thought you said it was like one specific kind of type.
Yes, it's mostly the cheaper, opaque colored gems that were usually around 10 gold apiece. So
Okay.
it's
And like
it's closer to the cheaper end, but here's the thing. You have 60 pounds of gems. And gems are listed to be lighter than gold, which would mean that there's more gems in a pound than there is gold in a pound. And gold in a pound listed in a book is 50 50 gold equals 1 pound. Or 50 coins equal 1 pound. So, yeah, it's a lot. I did some crazy number crunching and math, and going towards the low end, but assuming that not all the gems are super cheap, you're probably looking at, you don't want to flood the market with this knowledge, but you're probably looking at 6,000 gold in that chest. Gold's worth in that chest?
Oh, that's fine. Wait, so 6,000 and we split it up against 4. Well, you did take the weight of the axe out of the box, right?
Yes. Well, it doesn't factor into the 60 gold or the 60 pounds. So.
Okay.
So 6,000 gold, assuming we can get all of that, like actually get that turned into actual moolah, that would be 1,500 gold a pop.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm only going to be taking 1,000. I'm using 500 for something else.
Fair enough.
Anyway.
Well, because it's not in coins yet, are we actually distributing that amongst ourselves now, or do we want to wait until we're somewhere else?
You're probably going to do that after you...
Yeah, Riven's going to do something with the gems once we get back to Yukiege.
I suppose we should probably actually start the session then.
Fair point with that, but also in last session, since this was Yongerlin's quest, which is what I named last session, Yong's quest, you did learn a little bit about Yong in the last session as well, via fun little interactions when camping along your way to the kobold mine. Or kobold.
Oh yeah, that only Riven's seen and hasn't said anything about.
There's that, and there's
I'm still waiting for it to happen.
Yes, there's that, and there is discussion of like what Yong talked about, and the fact that Locke deemed that Yong might be a dragon in disguise, and it was hilarious. Yes.
Paranoid motherfucker, give me a break.
Yes. Anyway, and you guys, even though it was a massacre with the kobolds, you did get to see Yong's fighting style, which was fun.
Rogue monk hybrid. Interesting.
Indeed. Rogue monks are fun. Or a rogue monk is fun. Alright, so we open up with this session with you guys having essentially just came out of the kobold treasure mine thing, with the big huge box leading the kobolds. I think it was 3? No, 1. No, it was 3. You left the 2 at the front, including the kid. You left the 2 in the front and the kid. So 3.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be so pissed.
Huh?
They're gonna be so pissed.
They are going to be a little bit upset. A little upset, yes. Their cave was robbed. Everything of importance in it was took, and everyone else was killed. So,
without them ever even realizing it.
They're not very smart. It's going to take them a while to figure out all that. Luckily.
Oh.
Right.
But so yeah, you're leaving Kobold Cave with the big huge box, and effectively getting ready to begin making your trek back to Yukiege, because that massacre was not difficult for anybody really at all.
Nope.
I mean, there was a spell cast of, I think, Hunter's Mark and Pass Without a Trace. Did you use? And there was an invisibility spell cast by Locke, and that's about it.
And just a bunch of cantrips and sneak attacks.
Yeah, and your Awaken Mind thing was used a very, very, very effectively. So, But anyway, so we open up. You're getting ready to, leave the venture back towards Yukiege. You had made it to the mine probably mid to late afternoon, so you're probably getting ready to head back, and you'll probably get to. You're probably heading back to Riven's little place.
Little hideout spot, yeah.
Yeah. That would be safe to say.
Yep. And Young's sort of cracking her neck, cracking her knuckles, and she's just. That was incredibly easy, but fun.
Fun isn't the word I'd use, but it could have been more difficult, I will admit.
Well, at least we got a decent lump sum of money out of it. She looks towards the chest that Riven is carrying.
Yeah. Gems.
The gems will be worth a great deal, and we'll figure out how to split them up later, probably when we're safer in Yukiege or something. You can carry that the whole way back, right, Riven?
Yeah, totally.
Good.
Swift.
And does Riven go back towards her special tree this time in the little clearing again?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll perception for Young again, looking at the tree, seeing if she sees anything special about it. She's close to it, and it's now the middle of the day, and she's not too worried about dealing with. She's not super tunnel visioned on kobolds because that's already dealt with. So perception to the tree. Oop. That is a no because 4. Yay.
Nope.
I'm gonna have Locke roll too, just for the hell of it one night, even though I don't get a bonus at all. 3.
Wow. We are some group.
This
Well,
has been our running theme.
I mean, there is one more left that can roll.
And he has super perception.
Oh. Okay, yeah, he can see all the details on that tree.
Yay,
27.
27,
Yeah,
hooray.
he can see there's carved letters in it, and then below that there are 5 marks, almost claw marks, but not really because it's only short.
Or somebody who was white knuckling into a tree. But
Yeah, basically white knuckling, and it's place hand and then kind of try to squeeze the tree with your fingers, like you're trying to grab a hold of it, or something. I don't know.
something close to that, yeah. I think I get the idea. And is there any significance? What is the sort of significance to the letters? Is there a specific said there was lettering on the tree?
Oh, yeah, it's an R and a K.
Ah.
I think I smell where this is going.
I know, I'm sappy. Okay,
This is the tree you sit in for the KISSING, right?
Yeah. Considering
is he doing an insight check on Riven?
in reference to the tree, yeah.
Yeah, this tree's very special to her, and she's very sad, but she's trying to keep a straight face.
All right. All right. Well, it's getting late anyway. Let's all get some sleep. And Oak sort of very gently but very pointedly is trying to move everyone else away from the tree to get to the center where they had made camp before.
You'll get no argument from me.
Okay.
Yeah, no kidding. Stealthing around like that for a while was kind of tiring, I guess, but Oh well. Wait, who am
was
I
more
watching
tired
with
out by
this?
the tension of this- Oh. Standard watch rotation.
How about you?
Forget who goes first.
Oak speaks up. How about you watch with me this time, younger one? Not bother the two of them. Sure, I guess. So, first watch will be Oak and younger one. And then the rest of the watches will be as normal.
I forget which one I am.
What when you do your watch?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
forget my place in the watch rotation.
You're the second watch.
You're in the middle.
Oh.
Alright. So, Riven probably goes and starts to rest next to the tree. And Oak and Young have their first watch or have their watch first, and Locke falls asleep wherever Locke falls asleep in his totally not haunted bedroll.
Yes, it is not haunted.
Okay, so perception checks again. Boop. All the 20s. 12. Okay. Not a whole lot going on. For purposes of, like, video or movie images, and although I don't really want to sit here and talk to myself for like 5 minutes, Youngerlin and Oak sort of are bantering back and forth in a more... It's less like they're siblings and you know, picking on and playing off of each other sort of way as they've been seen here so far. They're more having a more serious conversation. But yeah, I don't want to sit here and talk to myself forever, so that's the thing.
Okay.
Soon after, Oak just gently rouses Locke from his rest. It's your turn, and this time you don't have to deal with her. And Locke, you can look back and you you can look back and see that Youngerlin's already asleep.
Yeah, that's good.
And he gets up and goes to take watch.
Yep. Perceptions.
Click properly. Nat
Dude.
20.
Natural 20.
Such a turnaround. Yeah.
You're paying extra special attention to like all the things.
Like I say, I'm on high alert because we're not all that far away from the kobold hideout. And in case they want vengeance, I want to be ready to blast him and run.
Yeah. Although you are in a hideaway yourself, so they probably won't notice you, but still, you're paranoid. I kind of want there to be, with a perception like that, I kind of want there to be something fun that, significant that happens. So, Riven, you okay with a gentle bit of snowfall happening at about this time?
Oh yeah, totally fine.
Yeah. So there's just this subtle hint of snowfall out around the clearing, and Locke in his watch will see the white-budded flowers that were closed when they had previously come into this clearing are slowly opening, as if to say hello to the snow.
Ooh, that's cool.
And it's very pretty. It makes your watch all the more pretty and peaceful, but you do see the interest of the, shall we say, snow flowers, or snow lilies, or something of the sort. Can't remember what Sam actually called them.
Snow lilies.
No, yeah, I thought it was snow lilies. Alright. But other than that, your watch is peaceful. And you have Riven way over there near the tree to wake up with your mage hand poke.
ruffling the head a bit.
So you're ruffling her hair instead of poking her nose?
A little bit, yeah.
She just swaps and she's like, still asleep.
Use Mage Hand to start picking her nose. Like, get it up and then just start wiggling around.
Well, that's pleasant.
Yeah. Sure. You want to play that, huh? Riven actually like wakes up and just like looks back at the camp directly at you.
Locke stops casting Mage Hand, waves kind of sheepishly, and then slowly goes to his bedroll.
Riven stands up.
Locke walks a little faster and does the telepathic thing. It's your turn.
I can tell. She walks over to the wait. Hold on. I gotta think.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
You're not going to do something evil to me, are you?
It's never evil, it's just playful, because we're a dysfunctional family. It's adorable.
Dysfunctional being the operative word here.
Yes.
Not a single one of us works properly. We are all broken in some way. And I don't think sticking together as a whole is making those cracks any better.
Eh.
Riven stops and I guess go about her watch.
Okay, good.
She like had an idea and then she just stops.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Locke
All
is
right.
going to sleep with one eye open tonight.
Well, you did roll
himself,
high
"Why
on
did
your
I do
perception
that?
earlier. You're paranoid.
And just sitting there like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Why did I do that? As I'm falling asleep.
17.
Yeah, it's peaceful. You see the same thing that Locke did, actually. You see that the snow lilies have opened up because of the gentle snowfall.
She goes over and picks one.
Now have a snow lily. Congratulations.
Yay.
I don't understand the significance.
It's a very pretty flower, okay?
I mean, yeah, I get that.
That's
Mental
it.
image in my head
It's just
is... I didn't realize Riven liked flowers.
well, this little area is very special to her because she would spend time here with Cal.
You know what? That is a fair point. I will let you
Okay.
have that.
Yes. Alright. Morning comes. Does Riven have a prayer, or try to?
Yeah, sure.
This ought to be good.
Okay.
Hey. No.
I mean, you don't say that, but the prayer almost amounts to that, I'm assuming.
You can kinda, yeah, and be like, thanks for watching over us, I guess. Because she remembers last time of someone talking to her.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff. And she's like,
So awkward.
yeah. I still don't understand this.
Yeah.
And that'd be pretty much it.
There's definitely a lot more to this than what you can really grasp right now. You,
Cause all she knows is like Cal's like talk about this person and stuff, but she's never actually, and like Riven's never been actually part of any rituals or prayers to her. So she's like, okay, what
Mhm.
now?
Yeah.
she's just
And
like, thanks.
with comparison to the last couple of times you've done it, and you've gotten some degree of response. This time, as was said, I roll some percentiles and do some finagling for a mechanic for you to get a response. And this time, you did not roll well.
Oh no. Well, she's just like, here, let me just say, she's like, thanks. I still don't understand how to do this. Now what?
Yeah.
And nothing, I guess.
Nope. Oak wakes up soon
Okay.
after and hears, because of his high passive perception, hears the tail end of your thing, and he's like,
I'm just like, now what?
now what? What? Huh?
Uh, nothing. Just shh, be quiet.
He sort of blanks and's looking. You were praying.
And she, no. She's like rummaging around in her bag.
He sort of
And then
smiles,
she
but
pulls out another small bag out of her bag.
bag in a bag.
A bag in a bag.
Bag in a bag in a bag in a bag in a bag.
And she's going to walk over to Locke.
Oh no. Oak, save me. Protect me, cowman.
Oak just sighs.
She opens the bag.
He does
What's
nothing,
in
but
the
he
bag?
sighs.
And she turns the bag upside down over tops of Locke's head, and colorful sand fall out.
Does this wake me up?
Probably.
Well, yeah, because it gets into your breathing.
Depending on how he was. There we go.
Like on his side. Riven!
That's what you get for messing with my breathing now, huh? And also, you're very colorful. Be happy.
I don't want to be colorful. Colorful stands out.
You already stand out.
I look like a beggar. Close to.
You stand out with a blue furbog and a me.
I'm just gonna start brushing the sand out of my hair and off my body. Grumbling in irritation and not bothering to dignify that with a response.
Oak sort of looks back and sees that Yongerlin is awake as well, and she's just sort of coming to as you guys do your little thing, and she's just like, "That's an interesting thing to wake up to." Okay.
Someone thought it was a bright idea to stick something in my nose.
Well, you were making it awfully hard to make you wake up. You were pretty sound asleep. I had to do something.
You could. Young was just speaking of, and she's just, you could just, sort of rouse her awake by shaking her shoulder like a normal person.
I tried ruffling her head. I don't think the shoulder would be much different.
Right, and I seem to recall last time you woke her up, you did it with Mage Hand. Did you use Mage Hand to ruffle her hair?
No.
Yes.
Last time you poked my nose repeatedly.
With Mage Hand.
Yes. What is Mage Hand?
It's
Yeah.
the thing I do to make Holosack doll happy without seemingly doing anything.
That's what you do to my dog?
It's just a hand. An invisible magic hand.
Fine. At least I now know who's doing it.
I thought everyone knew. I'm doing hand motions at the
I
same time that
don't
the dog
know.
is having spaz. I'm doing hand motions and murmuring under my breath at the same time the dog is having his spaz attacks. I thought it was obvious.
I don't know magic.
Actually, you do know magic. Remember the last time you struck with your axe and tried to make vines appear around a goblin? Or no, that was a werewolf. Didn't work, but you tried.
That was me?
Yeah. The only kind of branching vines that I can do is what I used on the tent.
Huh. Okay.
Can we get back to town, please?
Yes, let's do that.
Yes. He goes
And
to
that
get your stuff and picks up the box.
and that awkward conversation just sort of dissolves, and we do that montage thing of you're walking in silence or awkward silence to the next place to camp off to the side a little bit.
Out here. Yeah, it should be about here, by the looks of it.
Yeah, roughly. And once again, we have watches for the night. And once again, Young decides that she's going to watch with her brother. Quotation marks.
Big, bold quotation marks.
I mean, his brother just as much as anybody else. Adopted, that's all. Okay. Seems to be a peaceful night for those two. Not a whole lot going on. And night goes peacefully. They share another conversation. This time it's Yong that wakes up Locke, rousing him much like Oak did. She just sort of nudges at his shoulder with her hand, and it's somewhat more aggressively than usually what Oak does, but she's not like shaking him. She's just like rousing him in a way to indicate that, hey, this works. And yeah.
A message was received 24 hours ago. And
I'm just saying that works. But
Locke just kind of gives her a sleepy, narrow-eyed look that makes it clear he is not in the mood.
fair
He's
enough.
not a morning person.
Well, this is an evening, but okay.
All right, time for that perception. Oh, it's an 11.
11. Alright. That's actually enough, and it doesn't start during Young's and Oak's watch, so good for you, Locke.
Oh, shit.
It's very soft, and it's a good ways away from camp. But you hear what, for lack of a better way to put it, you hear what sounds like singing. Though it's in a very sort of guttural language that's probably not designed to be sung in. And it's probably maybe 50 feet away from where you guys are camped, off sort of north-ish.
Oh. I am going to go into stealth.
Gonna go invisible too, or just stealth?
I'm saving my spell slots until I can ascertain the nature of what's going on. I only have the 2. 22 for stealth.
That works.
So
You are effectively stealth.
No. And I'll wander a little closer to the singing to try and get a better look at whatever the fuck it is. If it turned out to be nothing, and I can just let it safely pass, and I won't bother rousing the others. But I need to know what I'm dealing with before I can jump to any decisions.
So you stealth a little ways closer, and as you get closer, you start to hear the singing a little bit more. And there's actually a subtle hint of a I mean, Locke's an relatively intelligent character, so and probably is accustomed to like elven music and things like that from his hometown. So
Yeah,
you
Common,
hear
Elvish, Deep Speech, and Sylvan are the languages I know. So
right, I know, but I'm saying in like the context of like musically, you probably were exposed to music in an elven town.
yeah.
You hear a slightly out of tune, or either out of tune or not real well kept flute that's accompanying with the music or with the singing. And when you approach and you've gotten closer enough to see, about 50 paces ahead of you, they're not looking at you. They're not even remotely paying attention to you because you're sort of coming up from the side. You see a very interesting sight indeed. Um, you see a trio of goblins. One of which is standing tall on a rock that's almost like a pedestal or a stage, and the goblin on top of that is, for lack of a better way to put it, dressed somewhat like a magey sort of character, got a robe, and has a flute, and is singing to the other two goblins that are down below.
Huh. Well, what gender are these? How old do they look? Is this like a family of goblins, or
They
is
all
it
look
just
roughly about the same age, as far as Locke is able to tell.
right? Hmm.
Although, if you're taking a closer look at them, you can roll me perception again.
I will do that. 10.
That's enough. I'll take it. Um, you do see that on the back of the cloak that the one that's singing is wearing, you see a crest or a symbol that is not quite the same, but very close to the same symbol that was on the flag in the goblin camp that you fought before.
Ooh. In that case,
Um,
I can't use Awakened Mind because I'm too far away. Let me check the message. I was able to use message before to speak to my mother, even though she was like a floor above me and like I couldn't see her at all. But like I was able to just like find her and communicate. Am I still within 120 feet of everyone else?
yes.
Okay, then I will shift, get a little bit of extra distance just to make sure that the goblins don't hear. I'll whip out my black book because I need that to cast a spell. And I will also take out a little piece of copper wire from my component pouch, sort of twiddle up my fingers and talk into it like it's a microphone, sort of whispering back specifically to Riven. Uh, we have some goblins here, and they have a symbol similar to the ones from that one camp we fought. To sort of rouse her from her sleep.
I'm guessing this would wake me, so.
Oh yeah.
I would imagine you're being spoken to directly into your mind.
I don't know, I could have some weird crazy dream going on and all of a sudden this thing started talking to me. I don't know.
This is true, but
Yep.
yeah, it'll wake you up. It's fine.
Revan goes and wakes Oak and Young.
What's wrong? Oak sort of gets up, sees that Locke isn't close by, and he's
Locke needs our help with something. More goblins.
okay.
I'll make my way back towards the group to like the edge of the clearing, just so, like they know where I am precisely.
Mm-hmm. So they can find you and sort of make their way up. I'm going to roll stealth for the two characters that I have here.
Okay.
Good thing that's not with disadvantage.
Yeah, that would be a 3 if that were disadvantage.
Okay. Riven want to roll stealth to get closer to where she can see the goblins?
Oh, sure, yeah. Because, you know.
Or is she just going to charge them?
No. Don't give me time to do this.
Yeah. So everybody's mega not
Well,
seen.
Well, that's the thing. You guys already went into stealth before I could cast it.
Oh.
It's alright. You can cast it on yourself at least for this stealth roll. You roll your plus 15. Yeah.
26. I'm gone.
So that's like
Yep.
36 total, thanks to Pass Without a Trace.
Well, the plus
Oh,
15
I
is
would
with
like
her.
to mention I replaced one of my axes with the axe that I found. So
Right.
Alright.
So you have Pass Without a Trace. Everyone is pretty well stealthed. And I'm going to keep Locke stealth from before. You can pretty much effectively sneak up to the stage of these goblins if you want to do that.
So there's two goblins and a goblin in a robe singing and dancing.
Yeah, pretty much. A goblin in a robe with a stick and a flute and dancing.
So does anyone here speak Goblin? That's a awakened mind to everyone, one at a time. Or does anyone here understand what they're saying?
Nope.
Cumberland
Do we
doesn't
want
have.
to? Do we want to take
Nope.
prisoners? Interrogate them if we take prisoners. You're wanting information on that legion. Are these of the same legion, Riven?
I recognize the symbol, right?
You had seen it better before, and you knew what you were looking at. The Goblin flag, the Goblin Legion flag that you had seen at the camp before, was, as was said then, it was a slightly modified version of the flag that was the flag of the camp that attacked Duravel before. You know, I had described it sort of like a flag that maybe the people were disgruntled and they sort of roughly changed up the flag so that it didn't look the same. This symbol is the unmodified version. So yes, these are very much the same Legion symbol crest flag from your Duravel attack.
Hang on a second. I'm checking one of my spells.
Okay. So this one is not modified?
No, it's not. This is quite apparently to you, having looked for it. This is this at the very least the robed goblin. You don't see a crest on the other two, but the robed goblin is very much from the legion that attacked Duravel.
And he's on a rock.
And he is standing on a rock like a stage. Yep.
How tall is the rock?
I mean, goblins are usually about 3.5, 4 feet tall, if I recall.
Mm-hmm.
And he was able to climb up here without any kind of real solid effort, so probably about 2.5 ish tall. He's sort of climbing up onto.
Okay, so I know the spell Shatter. If I were to cast, if I were to cast that at 3rd level and put it right there, I could get all 3 of them at once. If I specify and do 48 damage to all of them, and if I specified non-lethal, they'd be knocked out and we could question them. And if they don't know anything, kill at our leisure.
That's
that
the
sound like
thing.
a
We
plan?
don't know goblin.
They might know common though. It's worth a try for the potential
point.
information. Yeah.
Riven's just gonna sit there and be
And besides, I know Awakened Mind. We don't need to know the same languages to communicate with that.
Really?
Yeah, there isn't a language barrier. As long as I know a language, I can communicate telepathically with literally any creature as long as it's within 30 feet.
Okay. Well, Raven's just gonna sit there and be like quietly going, kill.
Okay, in that case, all right, Locke is going to, let me just double check what all Shadow needs. So do I have the, I don't actually think I have the spell component for it. What the hell is Mika in this context?
What is it?
What is Micah in this context?
Micah?
A chip of mica, M-I-C-A.
It's a kind of mineral.
Oh, well, I don't have any of that.
Well, you don't have a sorcerer's pouch?
I do have a component pouch, but that's not in it.
Well, I mean,
Is there
component.
like an actual list of what's in a components pouch?
I have all the components that I have in my components pouch as like a list.
Well, sometimes
Feathers.
when a components pouch is bought, it's assumed that all low-level ranking spells are in the pouch.
Yeah.
That's sort of the idea. That's why the component pouch costs more than an average bag.
Yeah, but this is a second level spell. I don't think you're going to be quite so lenient with me unless I am severely underjudging your character.
Sure, I'll give you Micah to cast Shatter. Make a charisma check first.
Okay.
A charisma saving throw, rather.
Okay.
Oh, the music.
That's 20.
All right.
Do we all have to cast charisma saving throw?
No, just Locke, because he's the one casting Shatter.
All right. So if those goblins could all make a DC 14, I believe, Constitution saving throws, please.
Mm-hmm. Hold on.
And I need to roll an additional D8 because I'm casting this at a higher level. So 15 plus 3, so it's 18 damage if they fail to save. Non-lethal. I'm trying to knock them out here. If they fail, and if they succeed, then it's half that. So 9 if they succeed their save.
You said a con save?
Constitution saving throw, DC 14.
Okay. DC 17,
One's
you
got
said?
9. No, DC 14.
DC 14.
And they
yeah.
only take half damage.
Shit.
Wait. Is yours different? Nope, it's not. Never mind. You're still just a goblin, basically. Boop.
Yes, one failed. Oh wait, no, succeeded.
So they all only take 9 damage.
Alright. So what does Shatter look like?
Well, he'll give me just a second here. I'm pulling up music. Shatter is described in my spell list as a sudden loud ringing noise, painfully intense, erupts from a point of your choice within range. Each creature in a 10-foot radius sphere centered on that point must make a Constitution saving throw, blah-de-blah-de-blah. In this context, let's just say it looks kind of like the air at the center of where it is sort of like warps in on itself for a second before just snapping back out, and as it does, like kind of like it looks like glass just shattered in the area, but it's more like distortions in the air, kind of staticky, inky distortions that go along with the loud booming noise and go along with the sound waves. You know, the various triangle distortions go along with the sound wave as it spreads out.
Right. Okay. So the ones that made the save take 7, you said?
The ones that made the save take 9.
9.
Because I was casting this at a higher level of spell slot.
Okay.
And the one that failed takes 18.
All right.
If
So.
any of them failed. And it was non-lethal damage, so.
Right. So, 2 things. 1. When I rolled the con saves, I rolled the con saves in order of Goblin, Goblin, Rogue Goblin.
Okay.
Rogue Goblin was last, so he actually rolled the lowest. But doesn't matter because they all saved. However, none of them are knocked unconscious.
Ugh.
So, roll initiative.
Riven is still stealthing.
You are still stealthing, but you can still roll initiative for surprise round purposes, and I did not put a dice roller up before the thing.
Should I re-roll that initiative so that I actually turn up in there?
No, I'll put you in there. It's fine.
Do I have to roll stealth just again to make sure?
Nah. They're going to be turning to the direction of the sound, and they're not going to be aware of you.
The
so
sound into the middle of them.
Yeah.
well, they're going to be...
They're gonna be
They're-
confused, like, what just happened?
Yes, they're going to be very confused. So initiative. Boop. Everybody rolled crappy initiative-ish. You have a 17, you have a 17, and you have an 11.
Oh no.
Did I lose
Thank-
my stealth because of that thing I just did?
You would not have it, even though you have stuff. Okay, anyway. I'm gonna say reroll stealth.
Okay.
Because they're now actively looking for you.
Does Riven's pass without a trace affect us? in this
Pass without a trace. Pass without a
You
trace.
have to be closer to me.
Oh shit, I'm not. So just 19 for me.
Oh, I'm 27. You have to be with 30 feet of me.
They would have moved. I just hadn't moved them yet. So Oak and Young are closer to you. They were sort of following where you were going. So Oak
Oh no.
22. Because he does have pass without a trace.
Alright.
And Young 25. And then these guys are going to roll perception because they're spending their turn to figure out where in the heck that magic came from. Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay. Your mage goblin is smarter than his buddies.
Makes sense. He's
Or at
made
least more observant than his buddies. No. Then the other one is Steve. He's looking around and trying to find where it came from, and he's choosing to investigate closer to where the spell came from, instead of trying to look around. Here. You. Still not enough. So this one's not leaving the stage, but he's not looking in the direction of where the spell was. He seems to be smart enough to know that something's up. Locke, your turn. What you doing?
my turn. I am
Yep.
tempted to cast Shatter again. The thing is, I would use up all my spell slots. You guys think I should risk it?
I mean, you can.
Well, you can cast cantrips, right?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can still cast cantrips and Eldritch Blast. You know, that still does a crap load. So.
Yeah.
So I'll move up here and fuck it. Yeah, I'll drop Shatter again.
Charisma save.
Right. 6 and that. 12.
Okay, you're good.
Okay.
Or wait,
So what's going on with this Christmas save?
reasons.
Alright.
Alright. Right here. Shatter. And as before, I need to roll an extra d8 onto that damage because So, 11 damage if they succeed their Constitution saves. 22 if not.
Then I rolled their constitutions at a +0, right?
So,
Yeah.
Oh.
oh!
Well, one takes. One is down.
The 14 or
Oh.
it's a 12 you said, was it? Or 14?
11 if they save, 22 if not.
And the save is
the
14.
DC is 14. Save is 14.
Okay.
You take 22.
I rolled in the same order. I rolled in the same order that I did last time. Goblin, goblin, magey goblin. So lovely, lovely, lovely. Great. So The one top goblin just falls over and passes out holding his ears because loud. Because you did it as non-lethal.
Yep.
So he doesn't just like explode. Right?
Yep.
Alright, cool. The goblin that made his save over here, this one, he also falls over on the ground, passing out, holding his ears because non-lethal. And since it's thunder damage, I sort of imagined it like sound waves and sparks and things.
Yeah, like along like that cool glassy distortion effect I mentioned.
Yeah. So the sound goes off. The buddies on the ground on the bottom of the rock pass out and fall. And the goblin on stage twirls his spear, and his spear sparks with arcane energy.
Oh shit.
And the thunder shatter effect is sucked into his scepter and doesn't seem to hurt him.
Oh. Okay.
Did you just
That's
do a reaction?
He did.
That is my
Okay.
turn.
You did. What was your first bit of damage? 11? Or
I believe so.
it was 9. 9. That's right.
Yeah,
Okay. So it's his young Grillin. Okay, so the two goblins on the ground are completely and totally unconscious. Yay for them. Young Grillin is going to go charging up, do an acrobatics. Well, she doesn't really get. It's small, but she's a dwarf, so she sort of does this leaping thing. She wants to look cool. It's a 24 acrobatic. She does like a turkey roll somersault sort of thing. Launches up to come down and strike at this weird robed goblin. And then she's bowing at their feet. As if in praise, instead of striking him.
Oh no!
That's what the charisma save was. Oh no.
Oh no!
The other goblin is
Okay.
passed out. It's Oak's turn. Oak is now going to see his sister and be like, Jongerlin. No. He's
No.
very confused.
Bad.
He-
Bad girl.
We do not do that.
Sick 'em.
Something like that. He's very confused.
Sick 'em, don't suck 'em.
And he's going... Yeah, don't say that. He's going to cast Guiding Bolt. Or try to. And he reaches up to cast a spell. And the spell doesn't go off and he sort of blinks. And then he's clapping. Is it very happy?
What, Oak?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Oh no, I gotta roll higher than a 10.
David. What you doing?
Yeah, she's gonna charge this guy.
Yep. If you're doing a wacky with your axes, charisma save.
Yeah, it's. Oh, do I have to do the charisma save first?
If you're intending to strike
Okay.
him, yes.
Oh boy.
You're good.
15?
Strike away.
Oh yes. Ah. Okay, first one's gonna be the magic axe.
Alright.
I don't like that laugh. I do not like that laugh.
Anyway, strike away.
18.
I love that it has a question mark.
Magic axe.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know anything about it yet.
Yeah, that certainly hits.
Oh no, she had this axe on her for like 24 hours. So.
Right. It
Okay.
actually doesn't have attunement. So,
Okay. 5.
5 damage.
And I have 5 slashing.
Okay. Goblin is growling at you. You have your second attack with your normal axe, I assume.
Yep. 17.
Yeah, that'll hit him.
8 slashing.
Okay.
And my last bonus action. 24.
Yeah, you hit away.
6 slashing.
Holy crap. Ow. Okay.
I've yet to Hunter's Mark him. So.
You forgot the Hunter's Mark earlier. And you just used your bonus action extra attack instead of bonus action Hunter's Mark.
Well, the thing is, I would have used the Hunter's Mark first and then just 2 axes, but.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay. This goblin's passed out. It is the robed goblin's turn. So, Mr. Roby Goblin, yay. It would make sense that
not
this would...
down yet?
He's very, very close, but he's not.
Okay.
So, wisdom saving throw thing, and... Riven, if you would, please, make for me a wisdom saving throw.
10.
Cool. So... The goblin, he takes his scepter, spins it around in a circle, taps his scepter on the top of Yongerlin's head, who's bowed before him currently, and he turns to you and speaks in common. He is very funny and silly, all the white hair and everything. Bop bop. Tasha's hideous laughter. You're now laughing uncontrollably.
Okay, what does that do?
I'm pretty sure you're prone.
You fall prone. And you are laughing for as long as he's concentrating on you, and you get you get a save each time you take damage. You get another wisdom saving throw to get rid of the spell. But yeah, you're laughing. It's very silly and fun. And he is going to... you are laughing. He sees that his buddies are knocked unconscious. He's not quite smart enough to realize that his buddies are unconscious and not just like killed. So he is going to make an attempt to run off this way. But he doesn't get very far because his movement speed's not all that great, and he had a rock to climb down because he didn't jump. So, he's about right here. You guys don't have your reactions to attack because you're prone. And, Locke.
Oh, easy. Eldritch Blast.
Charisma save.
14.
You're fine. Eldritch Blast away.
23 to hit.
Yeah, 23 hits.
Alright. Non-lethal. 5 damage.
5 damage?
According to this, I think.
5 damage non-lethal. Yep. So, he jumps down, starts to clamber and try to get away, and Eldritch Blast smacks him in his face, and he falls unconscious. just sort of, "Meh." And then the spell goes away. Riven, you find yourself not laughing anymore. You're like, the fuck, what? And yeah, Young's sort of comes up from being prone on the ground and just sort of like lashes out her claws in both ways and roars in frustration, like, "Rah!"
All right, let's get these guys bound before they can do anything else crazy. We should probably gag the wizard so he can't do anything crazy with magic. I can awaken the mind with him, so communicating with him shouldn't be an issue.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh wait, you did
Right.
non-lethal. Never mind. So you bound them up.
Yep, using hemp rope, binding him, gagging the crap out of that wizard, and taking away all of his shit.
Okay.
If he has an item on him that isn't his clothes, I take it, and I search through those clothes to make sure he doesn't have anything sneaky.
Okay. His clothes are fairly empty. He has his scepter. He has his flute. He has
I take both of those things away, and I stash them like behind this tree while like leaning them against the rock right here.
Yeah. All right.
Just so that they are far away.
Okay. And they are passed out and unconscious. Oak is like, what's that? Something is very weird with that goblin.
Yeah, no kidding. So, how do you want to go about waking them up?
So they're all tied and stuff?
Yep.
Yep.
Riven kicks one.
I mean, they have 0 hit points. Knocked it non-lethal damage unconscious. So,
Oh, wait, yeah, the healer would need to wake them up.
do I really want to?
Doesn't he have like a healing cantrip? I imagine there's one or two, right?
I mean, that's not the thing. It's just like, so your awakened mind can, interact with those even if you don't know their language, right? You said?
Yes, but I don't think it works with an unconscious mind. I think they have to be awake.
You
Yeah.
woke.
I woke you up using the message spell, and that's because you were hearing a strange voice in your head, but you were asleep, not out cold. There is a bit of a difference there, I'm pretty sure.
Good point.
Young speaks up. So which one do we wake up? The mage or one of the other two?
Mage.
I would vote one of the other two first, just in case the mage has some trick we didn't know about and can get himself out and away with his buddies. I'd rather get something out of his henchmen before going to the big cheese, if you will.
So, turn order is gone. Initiative is over, and Oak is over here. Going to wake up this one here.
Okay.
He is going to do Cure Wounds, which is like the primary. Actually, I have Healing Word. The only healing-based thing he has is a cantrip is Spare the Dying. The rest are all still spells, but he has a decent amount of spell slots, and he only used Guiding Bolt in this fight anyway. So.
No question. Well, did my magic axe do anything?
Nope. Didn't seem to have any extra. Didn't seem to have any extra properties.
We can have it appraised when we get back to town. Just, who knows, maybe some of those things we need to roll like a natural 20 or something to proc it.
Maybe. Who knows? Okay.
Well, someone knows, but anyway. So, Oak does Cure Wounds. I'm not going to bother administering how many he cures. He cures enough to wake him up. That's all. And the goblin is immediately tied up and panicking and looking to the passed out Meiji goblin off to the side, and is he looks to everyone around him, and in particular Riven, and he seems very, very scared. And he actually speaks.
Oh yeah, because she's sitting there pointing an axe right at him.
He seems to be speaking in a he speaks in a very sort of jagged, broken, common. You no kill. Why?
I don't know, because they asked me not to.
Kind of hard to ask questions from a corpse, don't you think?
What questions?
Riven, I believe this is your part. You're the one with the bone to pick.
Oh, what you guys doing out here?
He looks over to the Meiji goblin who's still unconscious. Enjoying show.
Insight check. Is he full of shit?
Inside.
Goblin.
8.
I mean, it was a pretty interesting little musical number. You heard most of it. It was sort of broken and you don't understand Goblin, but if Riven wants to insight, she probably would.
Sure, let's give that a try.
Or she just
I
doesn't
have a
trust
better-
goblins initially. Okay, 5. Yeah,
5.
same thing. Same thing.
5.
I mean, goblins do weird crap, so. What can you do?
Why are you so far away out here?
Looks over to sort of eyes Meiji goblin that's still passed out.
No, she makes him turn to look back at her. No, look at me. Look at me. I have the axe here.
Leaders no like Nyobok.
Oh, you don't like that Nimbuk that gets the goblin, huh?
Shakes his head.
What do you mean?
Which one of us
Performance.
were you referring to there?
Loud and distracting.
Yeah, that's what I asked. I'm guessing Nimbuk is that one dude. Maybe dude.
You can defer that, yeah.
Okay.
Did Riven study up on Goblin Society when her town was attacked by one?
No. Or else she would have favorite beasts of goblinoids.
Fair.
Sure,
Okay.
goblinoids count as humanoids, but okay.
Well, that's the thing. Humanoids, but I would have to pick like 2
Ah,
for humanoids, and it's like goblinoids, and then something else.
Anyway. So you studied up on animals, not on goblinoids.
Yeah, on beasts, and she spent most of her life hunting beasts.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems when he says Neilbog, he is referring to the Meiji Goblin, and that essentially they were having a little mini concert way out here, away from camp, away from the city, because this was like the only place they could go to that could accomplish it without bothering anybody.
Hmm. So, how many are you over in there? Camp.
Goblin, he starts to try to count on his hands. He can't because his hands are bound. And he's many.
Let me ask this: how many leaders do you have?
He's sort of silent for a second, and then he sort of eyes your very intimidating axe that you don't even have. Already scared. And then he's 1 now.
Only 1 now? She goes and actually picks up the goblin and is holding him in the air.
And he's sort of struggling and kicking very futilely.
How is there only 1 leader now?
Blitz left. Doc disappeared. Only
The-
Brock now.
Hmm.
Which one rides a beast?
How many did Riven see riding beasts?
Only one.
He's you're like holding. How are you holding him?
Just by. I'm guessing he probably doesn't have a shirt.
No, I mean he
So
has
probably by the
leathers.
ropes.
He has leathers, and he is tied up by rope. So
Yeah, it's basically holding him up by the ropes.
Brooke rides Borg.
Riven doesn't look too happy and just drops him.
Falls down in a heap and is still tied up.
Anyone else have any questions?
Well, the big one I would have would be, where is your hideout? Your camp?
Is it still that burned out town that you guys took over?
He looks very intently at Riven. Sort of blinks. Seems to get his wits about him a little bit, oddly enough, in his scared, terrified state, and shakes his head very, very vigorously.
Is he lying?
Inside.
Inside.
Both of you. Or actually all of you.
To,
Oh, yeah.
To, to what?
No one else needs to roll. Good job, Locke. Yeah, he's lying through his teeth.
11.
Okay, he's lying through his teeth. All right. Well, in that case, Locke is going to sort of just casually stroll over this way and make a show of pulling out his sickle. Shing. And he's just kind of going to crouch down behind the goblin, sort of like letting the edge of the sickle very casually rest against him. He's like,
You know, lying is a stupid decision when you're surrounded by 4 people who would very much like to kill you if you piss them off, and that one, I nod at Riven, would like to kill all of you more than anything, so if you want to live, I suggest you tell the truth.
Yeah, you don't have to roll intimidate. It's not even gonna.
I don't even have to roll.
Yeah, he's not smart and he's scared. You guys have succeeded in doing something he's never seen happen, so he is terrified of you right now.
Nice.
So he's. Stay in Derval. Brooke is in Derval.
Oh, so you actually care about what the name of the town is, hmm?
It on signs and some read. Not me though.
Okay.
He basically saw Derval on the town of your sign, so he knows that that's what you know it by.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So the warg rider is in Derval still?
He nods.
Good.
Well, I don't have any more questions. What about the rest of you?
Hold
Just
him still real quick.
Hold him still, you said?
Not hold him still, like, keep him quiet real quick.
All right. I'm just going to go ahead and put the edge of my sickle against this and say,
You best be quiet for a little while.
Hey, Oak.
yeah.
Which one shall we wake up next? Should we wake up that one over there or this thing, Meiji?
Do you think we'll get more information out of the mage goblin?
I mean, he's more hated than
He
I
was
like-
mean, it could be.
He was powerful far more than his companion, so it's possible he knows more, but at the same time, they don't like him because of his flute music, so they might not tell him anything. Kind of a gamble.
I could try.
I mean, you can pick. There's one more.
I don't know if the other one will know any more than the buddy did.
All right,
Well,
then
well,
let's
then let's-
experiment with this mage.
All right.
Locke, go ahead and make sure our little friend there is nice and flat on the ground. The one that you're telling to keep quiet.
Does that mean knock him unconscious or?
No.
All right, well, okay, then I guess I'll just roll him so he's face down and just sit on his back between his shoulder blades.
Yeah, well, that works.
All right,
I'll keep my sickle in plain view and have the inky blackness of Eldritch Blast swirling around my hand.
So,
To discharge at a moment's notice if the mage tries anything.
so Oak reaches down. He casts Cure Wounds, and he gets the aura of his magic for Cure Wounds is around his hand, sort of like that glowy effect that most healing magics do in most animes and stuff. And when he goes down to heal the mage, the aura of his magic sparks, and then he reaches his hands back, like almost like he was zapped, and then he's like, can't heal him.
Really?
why can't we heal him?
Detect magic, because I can do that without expending spell slots. Does the guy have anything else magical on him, or any other magical shit about him at the moment?
You do detect magic? Yeah.
So I do some. Okay.
There is a strong, weirdly sort of divination aura about this goblin, even though he's unconscious.
Can I discern specifically what thing it's coming from? Like, is it his clothes?
Roll Arcana.
Luckily, I have like a +4 on that. Rolling Arcana, and that's a 23.
Nice. You see it. You see it as a sort of aura about him. He has this magic glow, this divination magic glow that's just seems to be coming off of him innately, and it's moving around, sort of like it's alive, but you're not quite sure.
I'm going to look down at the. I'm going to stand up, roll back over the goblin that I was sitting on, look down at him, point at what's his face, the mage guy, and say,
So, what's his deal?
Nilbog special. Nilbog protected.
Yeah, okay,
What
you're
is
gonna have to
he-
go into you're going to have to go into a bit more detail than that if you want us to be satisfied with that explanation.
Say, Riven.
How is he special? I thought everyone hated him.
I mean, I could tell by the way he was dressed he was special. No insane creature dresses like that.
Good point.
Nilbog chosen by gods. Hobgoblins no like gods, no like Nilbog.
Locke just kind of has this deeply disturbed look on his face.
I knew there was a reason I was agnostic.
Agnostic in a world where the gods are real. Good job.
Well, in this case, that less refers to thinking the gods aren't real, more just I don't follow any of them.
Right, I know. What's Riven's thought?
So how do we wake him?
If he has to wake up on his own.
There's
Or-
snow around here, right?
There's snow, yeah.
I'm gonna go scoop some of that snow up, come back to what's his face, and just dump it down the back of his shirt if I can. If not, I'll just press it against the back of the Meiji guy's neck and see if that wakes him. Does it work?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say it does.
All right. I'll just kind of flash the one who's been telling us
He's
that he had
at
to
like
wake up on his own.
1 hit point.
Uh,
It's like dunking a bucket of water on someone's head.
he's specifically at 2 hit points. Anyway,
All right.
he shakes his head and sort of looking around where he's tied up, and his gear is like way far away from him.
Yep. Hello. And bear in mind, he is gagged, so he can't go doing magic.
That's why he was coughing. He was coughing into the gag.
Right.
Because he can't quite breathe properly, because innately goblins are mouth
Yeah.
breathers, because why not?
Right. Because to just make them disgusting.
Yes,
I say, being a certified mouth breather myself.
I know,
I know
right?
what
Me
I
too. Anyway.
We know what we are.
Anyway.
So, I will look up at Riven,
So, any questions?
and then I will look down at I don't remember his name.
Neobog.
Your boggers. Neobog.
Neilbog. I'll
Yeah.
just call him Bog.
Bog.
I'll look down at Bog and use Awakened Mind to communicate with him and say,
Just think your answers, and I will hear them.
Sort of looks around.
Let's gonna go over to this goblin over here.
okay, so Riven's wandering awake. She
I'll just tell him to watch me.
Watch her. Watch.
He's very confused, but he's watching Riven.
She's just in there, like, with both of her axes, slightly swinging them. So, you're going to answer everything truthfully and tell us all the things you know about the camp. Okay?
Says okay in his mind to Locke.
I nod at Riven.
He says okay.
Alright. Because, I mean, if you don't, this will happen to you. And she just goes and, like, buries both of her axes in the shoulders of the down goblin.
Oh, Jesus!
Okay.
But I'll make sure that pain lasts very long.
Okay.
Okay.
So roll for me an attack
Intimidation?
with advantage.
Okay, this is with both her axes.
So it's 2 attacks.
Oh god. Both at advantage. Oh god.
Magic.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just like, it's there, and she's just like letting the axe dig into there and like.
Okay.
She had fully intended on killing this goblin as a
Oh
way
yeah, that's
to
fine.
intimidate.
Oh god. Okay.
So can I roll intimidate?
You can roll intimidate with advantage.
Awesome.
And Locke now actually
Oh
looks
my God.
distinctly uncomfortable.
Okay, yeah.
Doesn't
There
really
was an
matter.
attempt.
Doesn't really matter. They're scared of you anyway. But anyway.
Good.
I
Well,
wouldn't
that's
be
one goblin
particularly-
out of the way.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be a particularly high DC anyway, considering
Yeah.
what you just fucking did.
So
Jesus.
He speaks.
Are you sure we're not evil?
I don't know. Riven's like kind of on that borderline of like, if she continues down her path, her alignment might change.
Alright.
Anyway. So he very much tenses up and speaks in a much sort of cleaner common than his buddy. What do you want to know?
I relay that. I'm kind of acting as like the middleman here for
But you don't
communication.
have to. He speaks in common outright. So.
Well, yeah, but he's gagged.
Oh right, he is.
He is
Right.
incapable of speaking right now.
So, where in Durville does your leader reside?
Did Dervo have a sort of town hall of sorts? Kind?
Yeah.
There.
Okay. Do you know what happened to the other two? And that mysterious figure?
Blitz left on his own, of his own accord. Doc was taken by I don't know who. And he's like legitimately looking to Locke as if to say, I really don't know who. Please don't kill me. I really don't know who.
So, does Locke relay this?
I'm relaying everything he's saying.
Do you know where Brock went?
Brock stays in town. In town hall.
Oh, no, I meant the one that left. I'm sorry.
Blitz
Blitz. That's the name.
Blitz left and was told that Blitz was going to stay with sisters.
So they're accounted for.
It's also
Who are
worth
these
noting.
sisters?
It's also worth noting that from this, you can ascertain that the when you fought in your goblin camp before,
Mm-hmm.
the bugbear was not Blitz.
Well, yeah, because she's looking for hobgoblins.
Right. And he's referring to as goblin commanders. One of them was Blitz. So the letter that you had mentioned a Blitz and a Kerkak. You had initially thought that Blitz might be the bugbear. Now, the note came from Blitz. So Kerkak was the bugbear. Perhaps.
So Blitz is alive, but we pretty much fucked up his entire camp, so I don't put much stock on him
Well,
staying that way.
you messed up Kerkak's camp.
Ah.
Blitz is a hobgoblin that you haven't seen.
Ah.
But the letter that Kerkak had mentioned Blitz.
Alright.
Okay. Is there something Brock doesn't like?
Well, you can't see it because he's gagged, but he sort of blinks. Rock no like music.
So we heard.
Do you know why he doesn't like music?
It's probably just
Says-
an insult.
He says that music is not important and distracting.
Anything else?
Kind of curious about what his flute and scepter and shit did.
He inside his mind mentally because he's gagged, he actually chuckles and says, sort of in that. Actually, yeah. He says it, and then immediately after he thinks it, he's just like, no. I didn't mean that like as a knee-jerk reaction. I think it's because he has sensitive ears.
Ah, in regards to the big guy.
Why he doesn't like music?
Ah, yes.
Mhm.
I'll relay that.
Ah, so apparently the big guy might have sensitive ears. Good to know.
Oh, we could use that to our advantage.
Yeah, definitely.
Is there any way into your camp where you can't be seen?
There are three,
Three secret passageways?
which Riven, if you think about your time in Durable yourself, especially as a kid growing up and sort of just finding hideaways in town and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
There were some places where it was like alleyways that no one saw that could easily have been made to lead out of town. Was Derville fenced in, like a fenced in?
Well, I figured by now they would turn it into like a little fort area.
Yeah,
Been a year.
I mean, the goblins might have sense, but was it when she was there?
Oh, I know I had a couple of thousand people there. So it was like a small town that's like was growing. So there could have been like some parts reinforced in.
Starting to build up, and yeah, okay.
Yeah, like kind of like some basic like stone walls or something.
Okay, good enough.
I don't know.
Yep. So it sort of makes sense to Riven that she knows that there are a couple of entrances and exits to town that aren't as heavily watched as like the gate.
How many of you are there?
Psi is internal and mental, so there are 30 in Brock's Legion.
30. That is a number.
I don't know if that's accurate for the number in a hobgoblin army, but number I'm going with.
All right. All right.
I seem to recall you fought like 15 or 12 or 15 when you were with Kirkak thing.
Mhm.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. We mostly pulled through that because we had a good strategy and teamwork and some good rolls.
Well, and luck with the harpy.
Yeah, that too. All right. I'll ask him about the enchantments in regards to like his flute and scepter, like what they do specifically. Just at this point, that's more scholarly curiosity.
Flute, just flute. Not special. I crafted it myself for a little bit. I had help, but flute not special. Magical. Scepter, sentimental.
All right. So
Oh,
neither of them are magical.
ask him if there's anyone else magical that was
Sure.
chosen by the gods.
I mean, you can voice that question out loud.
Yeah.
No other Nilbog. I only Nilbog.
All right.
Okay.
What did the
I'm done.
gods? What did the gods choose you for? What's your purpose?
To be joke.
To
Be funny.
So you're
To
the
keep
jester.
army morale high.
So you're a jester. All right. I'll look up at Riven. I can't think of anything else. What do we do with him?
Hmm. I don't know. Which one should we send back? Because I want to give him the message.
Could send back Nilbog. They don't like him. He's the annoying one, so bit of extra salt on that wound.
Hmm.
Yeah,
but would they listen to him?
You still have the mental connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You strike Nilbog. May not actually hurt Nilbog.
What about your live friend over here? What are we going to do with him? Pointing to the other goblin.
He's silent. He's just silent.
He's not saying anything.
Okay, then what about you, little buddy? What should we do with you? She's tapping the goblin that was told to be quiet on the foot. Like, hey.
Yeah.
That's your cue to answer her.
I'm not important.
Alright. Do what you want, Locke.
All right. I'm not a murderer, so, or at least I try not to be, rather.
Yeah.
So, I'm not gonna touch him.
Youngerlin sort of speaks up after all of this, after having heard all of the exchange. She flexes at her claws. Bad that I just want to knock his lights out.
Oh, and then time to the other one.
Not that bad.
Okay.
I think Neilbog over there has enough to deal with. He's still tied up and basically prone, right?
Yeah, pretty much. They're all still tied up.
Okay. Not surprised, so she doesn't get assassinate. She doesn't get sneak attack either, because... Well, actually, no. She has advantage on the roll because he's prone, so yes.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I have to.
Hmm.
Boop. Boop. Okay. So, I'm not even going to bother with sneak attack and other craziness. Youngerlin's just... Actually, no, she doesn't even... She says she's going to punch his lights out, and then she just looks at him and sees how pitiful he is, and then just sort of front kicks him, and down he goes.
All right.
Alright. Neilbog. I want you to go find your leader. And you're going to tell him that I am hunting him. And nothing will stop me.
He nods mentally to Locke still. I don't know if he'll listen, but I will.
I relay this information.
Oh. Well, I'm sure the gray half orc may ring something in his mind. After all, he did kill someone in front of me.
I will tell him.
Let him go.
All right. I'll sort of bring my sickle through his ropes. I leave the gag in though. I'll sort of point at him as he's getting up.
Don't go casting any spells or taking that gag out until we can't see you. If I see you reaching for it, you're getting an Eldritch Blast to the back of the head.
And I let the inky blackness swirl around my hand.
Let me check something right. Actually, you have it, Locke. Does invisibility take verbal components?
Let me check. Invisibility. It does require verbal, somatic, and material. Specifically, an eyelash encased in gum arabic.
Material doesn't matter. Anyway. Okay. So he nods and just sort of, when untied enough to move, scampers and runs off towards the north.
All right. So is this one here dead or just unconscious?
Well,
Well, it doesn't matter. Let's just go grab the flute and scepter and shit, and then get back to our chest and go back home.
Fair enough.
if Locke wants to check, he can roll medicine. But
right.
ultimately, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
8.
Seems pretty well unconscious and or very close to dead. Best you can tell.
Leave him. If he wakes up, he can follow his buddy. If not, well...
Let's find out. Let's see. First, I will do the roll for the one that Riven axed. Oh, cool. Okay.
What?
Pretty sure the one Riven axed is just dead because he was at 0 HP at that point.
Okay, yeah, now he's dead. There he goes.
Okay.
See, your axe attacks gave him 2 automatic death saves. If he would have rolled 3 above 10, he'd have ultimately woke up eventually in great pain, but he would have woke up eventually. But he rolled a 4 on that last one, so he's gone.
All right.
Then the one that Young punched. 1. Okay. 2. Oh!
Ooh, he's awake again.
He will wake up later, but not right now.
All right. Well, he's still bound, so
Yeah, he's still very much bound, so he can't do a whole lot. But
just because I'm nice, I'll undo the rope, so I will take away all of his weapons and shit.
yeah, all he has is a very crappy sort of rapier, short sword type thing, blade of some kind, and a short bow, but no quiver of arrows on him. He just has a short bow. He forgot his quiver.
Yep. Well, yep. Yeah, I'll take those things so he's unarmed.
All right.
All right. Back to camp?
And back home. I'm done with this.
Okay. Back to
Gonna
camp,
take
I
the flute and
guess.
scepter.
Taking the flute and
Yeah.
scepter.
Who's
I'll
carrying the
plop
flute
those
and
in my-
scepter?
I will. I have an interest in them magic shit. Even though they're not magical, I don't know. Might be kind of cute to just have them for the hell of it.
All right. Okay. Then you guys will make your way to back to
Yukiege.
camp.
Well,
Back
yeah,
to Yuki-
back to camp, grab the box, and then go.
Back to
finishing
camp and
up
back
our
to
rest?
Yukiege.
Not that far.
I mean, we're about like half a day out, so
Yeah, I mean you'll make
I
it
mean,
back
it was
to.
on your watch.
yeah.
If you go back to if Locke goes to sleep and Riven does her watch at the end, we can sort of gloss over that, and you guys can make your way back to Yukiege.
Okay.
All right, fair enough.
Because I doubt the goblins will be back over here.
Not by the. You guys will be long gone by that time.
Yeah.
And
Like from where we are, it's like it's gonna take that guy like an entire day just to get to the place. So
all right.
so-
And for purposes, about maybe not that you guys see, but for purposes of like imagery, about 50 paces out, in a way, you see a flash of a pink robe, and the gag is removed because he's now out of sight. And as the gag is dropped, the green, pale-skinned goblin hand disappears. Because he did, in fact, have invisibility.
all right, well, he's off.
You make your way back to Yukiege. So you make it to town. You have the big, large box.
Mm-hmm.
Closer to more like over here.
What time is, like, technically what time is it?
It's sort of late afternoon or late evening at this point by the time you get here.
Yeah,
Okay, then I guess we go to...
I vote we beeline it to my mother's house because we can keep the gems safe there.
Yep,
Minimal risk
we'll
of
go
someone
there.
stealing them, and she's a potent maid, so if anyone tries, she can vaporize them.
Sure, let's do that.
Okay.
So you go off to her library.
Yep.
Which, by the time you get here, because you guys are gone for a couple of days, by the time you get here, the library is looking very, very, very well made. It looks very much akin to an actual, staying library one could rent books and spend time in. She has tables set up. Locke, you see a lot of the tableware and furniture looks weirdly akin to the furniture that was actually in your house back home.
Mm.
She moved the
Um,
furniture here.
Huh?
She moved the furniture here.
Moving boxes of holding. What can I say?
Yeah, good point.
She has her ways. I'll just say that.
All right.
You guys haven't quite figured that out.
All right. So is this place open at the moment, or
It's
I'm sure if we bang on the door loud enough, she'll come and open it for us.
well, that's besides the point. It's like late afternoon, evening. The doors, uh, it's open for you to come into because she's in the downstairs and she sees you through the windows. And Riven, how are you carrying the box again? Just sort of in front of you,
Yeah.
sort of just like deadlift kind of thing.
Yep.
It doesn't have.
Because I don't want. The reason I ask is because there's something I want to go shouting once we walk in, but I don't want to do that if there are just people in earshot inside, like customers.
No. There's no. The shop is looking like it can be opened, but it hasn't been officially opened yet.
All right.
So there's no public people.
Right. Then as soon as the doors open and it's close behind us, I'll just gesture theatrically to the box and declare, "Look, Mom, we're rich."
And as you say that,
Riven sits the box down.
as you say that, but before you place the box down, whoosh,
And the dog.
you set it down just in time for Hollis to like jump and land on top of it, and he's in front of you on top of the box.
No, Riven's petting him. Be like, "Who's a good boy?
He's
Stop
sniffing.
touching my dog."
He's sniffing at the box, and he smells kobold.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. She sets the box down. She moves Hollis's off the box, and then she just like opens the box to show the gems.
Holy wow. That's quite a bit of gemstones.
Sweet. Lucky, you could say.
Bunch of goblins. I mean, not goblins, kobolds.
There were a few goblins on the way back.
You know where these kobolds got their treasure from?
Nope.
Not a clue.
And Yongerlin speaks up. According to the report that I heard, that's important going in or anything, but treasure's treasure, but they supposedly stole it from a few different people, and the dragon mage swiped it from a cave that he found. The reports are kind of scattered. But yeah.
So we don't know specifically who.
We don't know specifically who, but odds are most of the gold was stolen rather than found somewhere in a mine. Most of the gems were stolen rather than found in a mine.
Yeah, I mean, look at this box. No kobold can make this.
That's true.
Oh, it also had an X in it.
Which might or might not be You know what? I detect magic on the axe. I should have done that earlier.
I mean, you did it before. You did it when you were in the cave.
And you said there was like just a slight hint to it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But yeah, as you did before, it's got a faint magical aura on it. And
You need to identify.
your Alessandra sort of walks over and goes, and she sort of waves her hand over it, and her hand glows white for a second.
Riven's like just going through the gem box.
Have you handed the blade to her, or are you just sort of handing it out and you're looking through the box the other way?
Oh no, it's like hanging from her hip.
Oh. Okay, fair enough.
And she's just sitting there like not really paying attention, just like, going through the gems and stuff and like kind of figuring out how to split it up and stuff, and then just trying to get like a little pile.
This is a very deadly blade.
Huh? That was a what?
If one strikes with this blade in just the right way, it can be extremely damaging to whatever it is you're hitting. It has what's been named a vicious blade. It's a vicious battle axe. What this entails is for purposes of you writing down Riven if you want Sam later. A vicious blade, or a vicious axe rather, will deal an extra 2d6 of damage crit. On top of the standard damage that it would deal normally. It's very deadly. She then goes over and she's looking through the gems that you've been looking at. Well, judging by
I
the
would like to state is getting Alright, finish.
getting what?
Finish what you were saying.
She's starting to sort of look over the gems that are in the box, doing some loose appraisal from a glance. She can't really pick and choose out of these gems. It would take her forever. So what was Riven doing?
Since we decided that each of us out 4 because, you know, younger ones there, we each get 100, 1,500?
Yeah,
1,500.
She, Riven is getting about 500 worth out of hers, so she'll only get 1,000
Okay.
worth, and she's putting it in the now empty bag of
Sand.
Sand. So now it's just a bag of 500 gems.
500 gold worth in gems in a bag.
Yes.
And Locke, he'll donate about 500 of his 1,500 to his mother's library just to keep it financially secure for its start.
That seems fitting. Oak will actually, seeing Locke do that, will do the same thing.
So Mom's library is good.
Oh yeah, Mom's library is going to be great for a while.
Like several months of rent to pay for right there.
Easy. Younger one doesn't though.
She just takes hers worth.
Yeah, pretty much. She just pockets it. And if nobody stops her, because Oak's not going to, if nobody stops her, she's going to make her way back towards the tavern.
No. Because Riven's going to go off and do something. She is going to attempt to hunt down Julia.
Okay. I mean, the last place that you know of to see her would be the
Well, she's going to start in the market, and she's going to ask around.
roll investigation.
Oh boy. Where's my investigation?
Not high.
No! 7.
It takes you the better part of the rest of the evening, or afternoon and evening, and it's sort of about 8 or 9 by the time you sort of figure it out. But you eventually...
She's going around and asking people of like, hey, have you seen this like lady?
Yeah. Some of the town goers, civilians that you see, you know, see your garb, and in particular your battle worn axes, and you look a little disheveled because you just dealt with a goblin, and
But I was never hurt.
You were never hurt, but your battle axes have blood on them from the goblin that you eviscerated.
Oh yeah, they need to be cleaned.
Yeah. It's hard for you to get somebody's attention that's not sort of scared of you at first, but it takes you the better. Plus, it's sort of late, so there's not a whole lot of people still here. But you do get, by the end of about 8 or 9, you get word of Julia's, essentially her address that's up in the northern part of town, closer to the outskirts of like a farm that's up northern part of up in the farming area of the towns. But you have found a house in which Julia would be staying.
Okay, well, she goes to the house.
Okay. It's a quaint little brick house akin to the kind that's drawn on this map here. There's it's decently well kept. There's a farm in the back. You see a sort of old
horse grazing in the night before he goes back into the barn. Back that way. And it's just a peaceful, quaint little farmhouse residence. You knock on the door.
Yes.
It's pretty silent.
She knocks louder. Hello?
The question.
Yes?
This is for Riven, or this is for Sam in purposes of Julia's stuff, because you had specifics on Julia's story and whatever. You had mentioned before that Julia had a husband, 2 little kids.
Yes.
Did you have a name for Julia's husband, or did you not really care?
Kevin.
Okay.
Is their last name generic by any chance?
Smith. No.
Kevin. I love it. I love it. Now I just need John in here.
Anyway, so it takes a moment. There's some clattering a little bit, and then
She's just like, hello.
door is eventually opened, and you see Kevin.
Hi, is Julia in?
She's asleep. Can I help you?
Can you give her this? Whenever she wakes up? And she just like hands the bag of 500 gold worth of gems.
He blinks for a second as if sort of getting awake himself.
Well,
Well,
Riven.
have a nice night.
What?
what?
Uh,
She just like, okay, bye. She just leaves.
Alright then.
It's just so. Kevin's just sitting there with this bag of gems, going like, "What?"
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm sure he's gonna go wake Julie up and be like, this."
We're
Yeah,
rich all of a sudden.
He walks. You walk away. I'm assuming. The door is still sitting there, open to the night air, and Kevin is just frozen for a second, held,
Looking at the.
looking at the bag of gems, and we just see that moment of after you've walked away. Julia, door shuts.
And Riven goes back to the library. I guess everyone's still there.
Well, everyone except Youngerlin.
Yeah.
I mean,
Find a
actually,
home.
no. By that late at night, Oaks actually retired to the tavern as well.
Oh, I guess we go to the tavern.
Yeah, probably. I don't imagine the library has a bedroom.
Not for multiple people. I mean, you don't know about the room space upstairs. Locke might have a room he could use upstairs in theory. But
He's
Doesn't
not,
have to pay board.
He's not gonna ask about that though. If his mom feels the need to point it out, then sure he'll roll with that. But he's not gonna ask about it.
fair enough.
He still feels kind of self-conscious about a lot of things.
So, you make your way back to the tavern. Rest up.
Yep.
Everyone has a peaceful rest. For the most part.
Yes.
Locke, get your little butt over here. There we go. Yeah. Peaceful morning. You wake up next day.
I guess we all gather down at the table.
Yep.
Morning.
Morning.
Youngerlin's sort of off in the corner away from the table but watching you.
So, what's the plan, guys?
Well, we do know of a goblinoid camp.
Yes.
What?
Isn't there also that dwarf round here who's been who wanted us to escort him back to his home?
Yeah, we can go do that.
Yeah. It would probably be a good idea to do that, if only just to get a bit more experience under our belts. And it'd
Mhm.
give me a chance to ask around a little bit in another town and see if I can pick up any info that can help me when it's time for you to return the favor and all that.
Oak
Right.
speaks up and, did you ever get your mother in to look at the scrolls from before?
Shit, no, I did not do that.
Well, do you want to do that?
We'll,
Quick.
we could
yeah,
say that
yeah,
we
I'll
could
go
say
do
that
that.
Locke
You
did
guys,
that retroactively because there's a time frame there when Riven was hunting for Julia.
Riven was wandering.
you know what? That is fair enough. What are these
Okay.
scrolls?
Alrighty. You already know
I
the
think
big
you
one.
figured out one was a fireball.
Yeah.
Yes.
The really big one was a fireball spell.
There are two others that I don't know though.
Bring up my little list. The two smaller ones that you had were the two smaller ones that you had were Burning Hands and Entangle.
All right. So now I have a scroll of Fireball, a scroll of Haste, a scroll of Blink, two scrolls of Expeditious Retreat, a scroll of Burning Hands, and a scroll of Entangle.
Oh, use haste on Riven. She gets 6 attacks.
Is that how that would work?
Yeah.
Oh.
It basically it gives you
It
another round.
It gives you another round of turns, and because Riven has extra attack
An extra attack and a bonus action.
she has extra attack and 2-weapon fighting to give her a bonus action to attacks.
Yeah. So.
Which
Okay.
effectively Younger Link can do that too.
Yeah.
So I guess haste on you when we're finally off fighting the big bad and you get 6 attacks. Good to know.
Whap, 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 whap.
Yes. Okay. So there is that. So we did that.
But the fireball. Dang.
Fireball, Burning Hands, and Entangle.
I'm gonna go. But before, okay.
You two should go find that dwarf we need to escort. I actually need to go and buy a couple things really quick.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to head out and I'm going to look for somewhere where I could feasibly buy a jar of molasses.
General store.
Slow? Slow!
You rolling?
So do I what?
What did Riven say?
Oh, no, it's actually me, Sam, saying this. Because the molasses is for a slow spell, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I need the spell component, a jar of molasses.
Uh-huh.
Whoa.
So
12.
I go looking for a shop where I can buy a jar of molasses. Do I find one?
They're relatively easy to find. There's like a general store type shop that you haven't actually been into yet, and yeah, you can get that. The shopkeep is a another Vidalcan, like the barkeep.
All right. And how expensive is a jar of molasses?
Well, I think we want to keep track of gold since you have so much, but
I mean, only 49 of those gold is usable. I don't think the gems really count yet because they're still in gem form.
Yeah, because I've been putting them in my items as like bag of gems worth this much or
Yeah.
this much.
Yeah, until we get them converted into actual money, I don't think it would be wise to actively use that as money.
Yeah, so.
how much? I mean, it wouldn't be super expensive. It would be like
But so
5 silver,
Okay, I can do that.
probably.
All right, so now I have a jar of molasses. I hand over the 5 silver.
So, do we see the dwarf in the tavern?
In the later part of the day, if you hang around long enough, yeah.
No, this is morning. Riven's not gonna hang around for all day. She'll come back later, but
So you don't see the prospector, but in the earlier part of the day you saw Garrick, the day before.
Yeah, the one who is asking us to escort him.
So yeah, you wouldn't see the prospector, but you'd see him in the early part of the morning. Comes down for a drink.
well, that's who we were talking about
True.
because he was
Yeah.
the one the guy gave us. So I guess we go and talk to him.
Locke comes back like after like 10 minutes of being. I was like, I got my molasses,
Why did you need a molasses?
So it can make you really, really slow.
I really hope you don't.
Not you. Unless you pour sand on me again.
Well, you deserve death for sticking up something in my nose.
It was a mage hand. It was a finger. It was a magic finger. I stuck a magic finger up your nose.
What now? Anyway, he's sitting at the bar, sort of loosely.
So we go and talk to him and sit down next to him and be like, sup. Well, Riven doesn't say sup. She just sits down.
Locke kind of hangs back.
Hello again.
Hi. When did you want to leave?
Whenever it was the most convenient for you.
Well, we just got done with our little side thing. So we're pretty much free.
No other quests or anything you want to do in town?
Not until we
Is there any other quests in town?
Technically, there was one. There was.
What was it?
It was a bandits thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the thing is, we're going to be on the road, so we might come across that.
just by pure happenstance.
Yeah.
True. Up to you.
I'm down to do the escort.
Yeah, I'll do the escort.
Okay. We'll wait for the
What?
We'll wait for the prospector to come down.
But
You would be escorting the both of us back home.
Ah, great. Didn't realize we'd have to have Shathid along for the ride.
You call him?
I called him Shathid.
what's that?
Just think about how it's spelled.
I wink at Riven.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
Shithead, it's Shathid!
Yeah, it's very passive aggressive.
I see. Okay, fair enough. Then yes, Gilbrick will get that himself, even though I did not because I am tired. He just sort of chuckles. Don't let him hear you say that. That would not be good. But yeah. If I leave and leave him here, he'll be stuck here and aggravating our lovely barkeep forever. And I don't think she wants that
I'm
anymore.
sure he would have run out of money someday.
In theory, yes, but he has nowhere to go. He'd find some way to be annoying. He'd probably go and pester the blacksmith or something. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, fine.
Don't worry, he's not that hard to deal with. I can keep him. I can keep him happy for the most part.
Do we still have the spider legs?
No.
Damn it! Because I was just gonna point at that.
I mean,
I think Riven threw most
I
of them
know we
at him.
threw one. We threw 3 at him. Riven picked up one to use as a chew toy for Hollis, but I'm sure that's done and thrown away since we left.
Yeah.
And it's
They're
been a
mostly
couple of
gone
days.
at this point. Either because they decompose because they would decompose fast, or because someone's tossed them out,
They're
or
just
because
thrown out.
Hollis chewed it
Yeah.
up. So they're pretty much gone. Alright.
I'm not sure the exoskeleton would decompose, would it? I mean,
Mm.
I mean, bones don't typically decompose in the same way flesh does.
I mean, I guess, but
An
ultimately,
exoskeleton-
Either way, they were most likely tossed out. We'll just
Fair.
assume that.
Fair enough. I gotta Google something.
Either way,
The
how long do you think
exoskeleton.
it would be for the prospector to get up?
a couple more hours maybe. He's not an early riser.
All right then. And Riven with that just goes out of the tavern.
Okay.
And I guess I don't know, she's just like standing out there like,
Give me a
what to
perception
do?
check, Riven.
8.
Okay.
So she's just like, she just walked out the door and just like looking around like, okay, now what?
You're waiting there for a little bit, and then at some point,
Like,
Why-
she's not just like waiting there, she's just like looking around trying to think, and then after a moment or two, she's like, I think I'll go to the market.
before you start to head up to the market, you turn around to look, and at the corner of the tavern over here, you see Alex, the little boy from before, the little human boy, Julia's little boy,
Oh,
and
hey kid.
he's he smiles really bright, and he's very very happy to see you and is smiling at you for a minute, and then he's just thank you.
For
The gems money stuff, that was you, right?
yeah.
Dad got like a delivery of gems in the middle of the night last night and described
Yep,
it as
that was me.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for money.
I
Is basically
I
what that is.
he is going to try to tackle hug you. Will you let him?
He can sit there and just run up and like kind of body slam her, but she's not moving. She's just sit there and be like, okay, and just awkward patting on the head, like okay.
Locke's kind of off to one side at this point, I guess. Kind of just.
I mean, you're still in the tavern mostly, unless you walked outside when she left.
I figured might as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you're there. You
So
see
I'm-
this little
so
boy
I'm-
randomly
so-
hug her.
So I'm just smiling at this, but Locke isn't saying anything.
And she's just awkwardly just like, yeah, okay.
Oak is there in the
You're
back in the
welcome.
doorway, and did you give the gems to that family from before?
Yeah, so
You're popular, Riven.
they're my friends.
That does not change my point.
He just smiles.
What? Well, what's your point?
I
Okay.
gesture at the kid hugging you.
You're popular with the kid.
Oh,
Locke face palms.
I guess.
Okay. And he
Riven, the not so bright, antisocial person.
he Alex is done hugging you, and he just sort of runs back the other way, and he just runs back off towards the marketplace.
That's funny because Riven's going that way. So, just like, yep, let's go see what we can find in the market.
Okay.
Okay. Are you searching around for anything in particular?
Nope. Just anything that catches our eye.
I'm just passing the time until it's time to fuck off, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll me investigation, I guess. Both of you.
At least I have a +1 in this one.
Oh,
Nat
Oh.
20.
Okay. So is there?
So what?
Where did my... Oh, my investigation is 11. Okay.
Yeah.
That 20 scared me. I was like, oh, wow.
All right.
I noticed. I
So,
heard you jumping.
so is there anything in particular that Locke would want to find?
Shit, you put me on the spot.
Maybe some nicer clothes.
No, he likes his clothes. Screw that. He wears the shit he does for a reason. Look at what all I have. I guess all I can think of would be spells, scrolls, and books.
Is there any specific spell that he wants?
I don't fucking know.
Actually,
All
no.
I can. How about magic items? Are there any just magic items floating around that I can?
There, he uses, like, see,
not
point out
in
the
this,
magic items. Like, this is magic, this is magic, this is... Oh, wait, no, that's not magic. This is magic.
Actually, no. What you find is you find a place that sells already pre-made spell scrolls and a few like paper to actually make spell scrolls. Just a little shop off to the side. It's actually a gnome, older-ish gnome woman that's got the spell scrolls. And she one catches your eye immediately because it's a spell you wrote down on spell scrolls all the time when you were a kid, though you don't really know why per se, but your mom had quite a few of them herself back at the house. It's Scrolls of Identify.
Ooh. Okay.
Just immediately catches your eye.
All right. How much for that? And do they also have any scrolls of Witch Bolt?
We'll say yes because you rolled decently high. What's your actual gold you're looking at right now?
49.
And Witch Bolt and Identify level 1?
Witch Bolt, looking at the Warlock spell list, is level 1. I don't know about Identify if it's even on the Warlock spell list. It's probably on Wizard. Let me check Wizard. First level. Yes, it's also Identify. First level. Identify is first level.
Yeah. With that, she chuckles and 10 gold apiece.
Done. I shell out 20 gold.
Yep. Riven, you don't find anything of interest, and
then I'll shell out an extra 4 to round out my numbers to 25 because OCD is a mean mistress as a tip.
Yeah, Riven's just like, kind of like looking down and be like, I don't know, like something. I would say something like magical she could wear, but she doesn't know what is magical and what is not.
it's fine. Eventually, Oak sort of comes into the market to join you because he didn't leave with you. Him and Yongerlin with the 2 dwarves come up. And it is time for you to begin your escort mission of Doomwish.
Do I see Julia in the market?
Yeah. She would be there.
I just
And
wave.
she waves back and she smiles very brightly, but she doesn't do any kind of weird hug like Alex did.
That's fine. Alright. I guess it's mission time.
Yep.
I guess so.
And you will be making your way and heading out that way. If you follow the road, it legitimately would say that regardless of the amount of days, you're probably going to be rather peaceful and calm because you have a road. It's a well-traveled road, and you're not going to be going through the wilderness, and you're not going to be attacked by anything. It's contrary to what you guys know.
We can stop by the Misty Village just to say hello.
Yeah, we'll do that on the way.
Actually, when that particular option comes up, Oak and Young sort of both look at each other, and Young's like, "Let's deal with this first." And almost at the same time, Oak is like, "Yeah, I." He sort of whisper. He whispers it. Actually,
Okay.
is your awakened mind something you have to turn on, Locke?
Yeah, I have to reach out to communicate with the creature directly. It's not like mind reading. It's direct communication requires I actually focus on it.
Okay, so Oak taps.
And it's only one creature at a time. So
Right. Oak sort of taps at his head towards. He looks to you, and taps at his head as if asking you to use it.
I do so. Vroom.
Don't really want to bring the dwarves in town.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, you bypass Misty Village. You would.
We could probably worry about all this next session, so we'd actually have more time to devote to it. To devote to giving it thought and actually approaching it properly.
Mhm.
We shall do it next time. Do we want Locke to do the, or do you want Brian to do the first part, or me?
Fuck it, I will. Why not? This has
You do the-
been Shadows of Gradiriel.
Join us next time when the group travels through Rydell and makes their way to Kirakal for a dwarven escort mission. This should be interesting.
Indeed.
You guys are rich.
Yeah, kind of roach.